Welcome back to another Thursday night football banger. As you can see, Casey Luke is with me on the other side of the screen. If you want to get off his info, Twitter, TikTok, all that sort of stuff, after the video, it will be down below in the description as always. But today we're going to be talking about the Steelers and the Bengals, the AFC North showdown, the unk-off among, right now, honestly, these two teams are above the Ravens. Who would have thought going into this game that they would be technically competing for the top of the AFC North? The Bengals are not too far behind. I understand they've been in a slump, but hey, anything can happen. It's an early season, and the Ravens are ass right now. So the Steelers coming in as 5.5-point favorites in this game. The total of this game is 43.5. The money line's 275 as we're seeing this to 225 for the Bengals. As you guys are watching this, you're watching this, we're recording this Tuesday night. You'll be able to watch this Wednesday morning. If any of the lines have changed, I'm going to try my best to change them up to date up to when this video goes live down below. So any of the graphics that you see on the video, I always try to update as fast as possible. We're also going to be taking all the picks that we have for today on BetMGM. Make sure you sign up on BetMGM. Use code DRAFT when you sign up because you don't only get $1,500 in bonus bets to use on any of the picks that we suggest in this video, but you'll also get access to Nick's fantasy, weekly waiver wires, rankings, all that sort of stuff, Q&A, free Q&A to get in with him about your teams every single week. So make sure to sign up. Use code DRAFT, D-R-A-F-T, on BetMGM. With that being said, Luke, how you doing? How we feeling?
I'm great. How are you, Gut?
You know, I'm living. I'm out here. Had a good Monday, so I'm happy about it. Except in back-to-back days, Sunday night and Monday, I lost a first touchdown slip on the 1-yard line. First was David Montgomery and whatever the fuck they were doing with the Lions, doing fake passes out here. And then I lost it with DJ Moore on the 1-yard line. Should have got in. Sickening stuff, but we move on. We are 2 for 3, mind you. 2 for the past 3 times for Thursday Night Football first touchdown scores. So we'll see if we could do it here again. Starting with our first prop. Let's get straight into this. Let's waste no more time. We are both on the page, so let's start with something we're both in agreement on. And that's Jaylen Warren to go over 19.5 receiving yards. This line feels really good right now. It feels like we're getting him in a great spot. Cincinnati allows the third most receiving yards to running backs. Gibbs, Jacobs, Monty, Harvey all went over this line. 4 of the last 4 running backs have gone over this line. He's averaging 4 targets a game right now. I know you have some other stats to ramble off as well, so I'll let you take the floor on Jaylen Warren over 19.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, overall, the Bengals are just a really bad pass defense. They're bottom 5 in EPA per pass play, and overall, just like they suck on the defensive side of the ball. Probably a bottom 2-3 defense in the NFL. Like you said, Jacobs, Gibbs, Harvey, Etienne, Sampson, all those guys have crushed this line over the last couple weeks. And this is largely because the Bengals play a ton of cover 6. They play it at a 20% clip, which is the highest in the NFL, which is just a funnel for dump-offs. Warren has a 30% target share against cover 6, which is the highest on the team. You know, we could get screwed over by Kenneth Gainwell getting a couple targets, but I think
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, Gainwell has an 18.5 receiving yard line, so the same around Warren, and I'll just rather take the starter rather than Gainwell. Warren's playing on way more passing snaps than Gainwell too, so I think there's more value for Warren here. And he's over in 3 or 4 games. One game he missed was last week against Cleveland, where Rodgers didn't really have to throw the ball a ton because they won the ball by 3 scores. So I'm loving this prop. This is one of my favorite props from all the Thursday Night Football slates we've had so far.
Love that. I mean, I agree with you. The only thing I think with Kenneth was last week, I think we saw more Kenneth because he was coming off Jaylen Warren's bye week as well as Jaylen Warren coming off the injury. A little bit of ramp-up period there. I feel like we'll see him in more good-to-go shape here as well. Plus, the Bengals are slinging the rock, so I think we're going to get a lot more opportunities here. For Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be one of those back-and-forth style of games. I think Jaylen Warren could definitely see some easy catches through the air. Plus, he's looked really good so far this year. Very explosive player. So he should be able to hit over this line. My next prop I do have is going to be Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions. I got this line. It's now a little bit more juicy at -125, but I got it all the way at -118. Shout out to Shopness. So if you're on Pickett, sign up on Pickett. Use code BDGE. It's absolutely free. You can tail my picks. They're there, and you can copy them straight to your book as well. And again, free to use. Jamar Chase, 12 targets last game. I said this earlier. You can say whatever. I've been calling this. If you've been watching our bet shows over the past entire year, right? Every time I say with Joe Flacco's going to have his guy. I said it with the Browns. Wasn't really the case the second time with the Browns outside of the tight ends, but it was more so with the Colts last year, and now we're going to see with Jamar Chase this year. He is not slinging the ball as much down the field like he used to. He loves these low-tier slot guys or guys that can get open near the line of scrimmage early and often. Last year, Josh Downs with Joe Flacco averaged 9.2 targets per game. Josh Downs averaged 9.2 targets per game. Jamar Chase sees 12 targets last game. Steelers allowed the third most receptions per game to opposing wide receivers. I see no reason. I would ladder this play. I would not hate to ladder this play up to like 8, 9.5. Like Jamar is going to continue to be a peppered machine because he's so good at getting open underneath. And it's so hard to cover him underneath, especially when they're manufacturing him plays or getting him the ball. Like they know, hey, T. Higgins is going to be a 1 or 2 big play guy. But we need to get the ball to our best player, arguably the best player on the entire planet's hands as much as possible. Like, no duh. And I think Joe Flacco is going to be a good guy to get in his hands early. 6.5 receptions feels like a really good spot there for Jamar. How are you feeling about that spot?
I like that as well. I like that you took receptions instead of receiving yards because I feel like Flacco's getting the ball out of his hands pretty quick at this point in his career. Usually, the wide receiver one and his offenses are racking up like some 3 and 4 yard catches that are just freebies. So, I really like that you took receptions over receiving yards there.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're going off narrative, just off the book's narrative, Bengals are supposed to be down in this game. What do they do when they're down? Give it to Jamar Chase. We saw it at the end of last game. They just feed him an extra 4 times at the end of the game. So we'll see what happens this week. But I do like Jamar over 6.5 receptions. The next line I do have is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But Aaron Rodgers, I'm taking his over, actually. And I didn't think I would do that. But I'm taking his over of 215.5 passing yards. If it goes up to 218, 219, 220, I'll still take it. I don't think I'm going to go much above that. But the reason why is the Bengals will have the second most passing yards per game. Obviously, the Bengals are the worst defense you'll ever see with your eyeballs, hence why we took Jaylen Warren's over. This is a very correlating play. T-Law, Bo Nix, Jared Goff, Jordan Love all hit over their lines, right? The only person that not hit over their line was Carson Wentz, and that was in an absolute blowout, right, when the Bengals got their absolute cheeks pounded. So, obviously, he's not going to go over his line when it's 43-3. But T-Law, Nix, Goff, Love all went over their lines. I think this is a closer game than a lot of people are going to expect. I think the Bengals are a scrappy team. I don't think they're a team that's just going to have the same thing happen like against the Vikings that's going to happen this week, especially not in a divisional matchup. Joe Flacco now is going to be in his second game in the playbook. He's now over a week in the playbook, which is huge. Obviously, coming off a Tuesday and playing on Sunday is tough, but now he's coming off Tuesday, played a game on Sunday. Now he's going to get another chance on Thursday. You got to feel pretty good about this, and it's a pretty healthy passing offense to where I feel like they're going to compete. So Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, isn't going to have the lead the entire game, and even when he does, he still slings the rock. I mean, we've seen it multiple times now. We even saw it last week, right? I think he's going to continue to hit over this line. Last week against Cleveland, I felt like they were up almost the entire game. He's at 235. He hasn't hit this line very much this season, but that's okay because this would be the week to take advantage. And it's crazy because I know Nick tweeted this out, and I think it's something that I believe in very wholly. Of like when you face Cincinnati, when you face Miami, when you face Carolina, Dallas and Dallas, you just take overs. It's just the system play. You just take overs against really, really, really bad defenses, and that's what Cincinnati is. So I'm going to take an over here with Aaron Rodgers. I don't feel amazing about it, but if there's going to be a game he goes over, I think it's this one. Considering also you look at like other lines he has, like plus 200. Normally, if his line is like around the 215 mark, you'd think his 200 line is about minus 190, minus 200. He's at minus 300 right now to hit 200 yards. So if it's a lock to hit 200 yards, for him to get an extra 15, I feel pretty good about it. So I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers over 215.5.
Yeah, I actually really like that. That was one of my other leans. Similar spot I took earlier this year was Bo Nix was under in 3 straight games on his passing yards, and he played Cincy, and I took the over, and he hit it in the first half. So it's like,
yep, it's kind of a system. Again, Cincinnati, Dallas, Carolina, any of them.
Also,
all day.
something I really like. Last week they were up by 2 scores. I thought he threw the ball a lot less than this, but he actually threw the rock 30 times. You look at the 2 games he missed, he threw, I guess he's under in 3 of 5, but 2 of the games.
One of them was the London game.
Okay, yeah. One of them's a London game, so give him some leeway there. And then the other 2, he threw the ball 22 and 23 times respectively. Yeah. So like if he's chucking the rock, his pass attempts line is set at 29.5. If he's throwing it 28, 29 times, like this Bengals defense is so bad, I think he can hit it.
No, I completely agree. With the attempt line where it is, the attempts right now on MGM, his pass attempt line's at 30.5. Like, are we kidding? If he throws the ball 30 times, it's a lock. But nonetheless, that's what my last player prop is going to be. Aaron Rodgers, Jamar Chase, Jaylen Warren. We lock those in. Now, I am going to take a side. You have a side. I have a side. We have different sides. You guys as an audience can take whichever side you would like. Let us know in the comments down below which side you're guys on. I am riding with Cincy plus 5.5. I know you are on the Steelers minus 5.5, and we can talk our differences out. But I'm going to go first and speak my piece. I think in the divisional matchup, when you're getting 5.5 points, you're getting a lot of juice there. And to get a lot of juice while you're home in, again, a divisional AFC North Classic matchup with Joe Flacco in his second time playing in this playbook with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins healthy, which is honestly rare at this point to have them both healthy, with Chase Brown healthy. I feel like we can start seeing this offense start to ramp up. Against the Steelers defense, hey, respectfully, they have a legacy of being good. This year, they're not. They're not an elite defense like they normally are. I think they can put up a good amount of points. The over on this game is 43.5 for a reason. I think the Bengals can keep it pretty close within a touchdown and cover that 5.5. Even if it's a backdoor like they did last week of where, hey, they're scoring with a minute left, Jamar's doing his gritty on whatever fucking DB decides to disrespect him, right? I think it can even be a backdoor, but I think we're going to get a close game here in the AFC North matchup.
Yeah, like I always say with these Thursday night spreads, like play these pretty light, especially in the divisional games because they're super unpredictable. But the Bengals, like I just looked at their last 4 games and they're just getting absolutely dogged by everyone. Albeit
Absolutely.
they've played 4 like pretty solid teams, but lose by 9 to Green Bay, 13 to Detroit, 25 to Denver, 38 to the Vikings.
Second game with Joe Flacco.
Second game Flacco is the GOAT.
Little bit of a different story. Jake Browning might have been the worst quarterback we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's
touch
true.
The field.
That is true.
He fucking sucks.
He is terrible.
So the fact that you're getting an upgrade in Joe Flacco, hey, and he put up 18 against arguably one of the best defenses in football right now, which is the Packers.
Yeah.
So against the Steelers, who realistically, you can like the Steelers as much as you want, but you can't deny the fact that their defense isn't elite anymore. Like, they're just not the same team. The Patriots only put up 14 points on them, but left 21 points on the board and just fumbles alone. The Seahawks dropped 31 on them. The Jets dropped 32 on them. The Carson Wentz Vikings in London, close game, but still 21 on them. Like, they beat the Browns last week in domination, but it's also like the Dylan Gabriel Browns. Are we that hype? And I feel like the Joe Flacco with everyone healthy again, Bengals could lead to a different story. The Steelers are hot, Bengals are not, and it's in a divisional matchup. I think this could be a movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm also like a little bit on the board of Joe Flacco really not being as good of a quarterback as a lot of people think. Like he has a
I don't think he's that good. Respectful. I don't think he's like game changing that good. But when you're comparing him to Jake Browning and how Jake Browning was played, he's an upgrade.
People are like really gripping onto those 5 games with the Browns like 3 years ago. They're just like, he's a guy that's going to come in and put up yards at least. But it's like really this year, if you've watched him, he has not been a good quarterback. But I can completely understand both sides. That's why I say play these lightly. I will personally be on the Steelers minus 5.5.
Fair enough. All right. Now we do have our favorite part of the show, which is going to be our first touchdown props. We have hit 2 of our best 3 for a combined 50-1 total. We had a 20-1 Jake Tongs. They were pronouncing it differently on the broadcast. Maybe I'm just saying it completely wrong.
Yeah, I think it's Tongus or whatever.
Yeah, Tonges. Yeah, we could be completely wrong. But we hit it in 20-1. And then before that, we had a 30-1 AJ Barner. Last week we missed. Hey, fair enough. This week, there's no white tight end. That hurts.
I got
you
one
guys
in
are
the
probably
chamber.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? Pat Freiermuth just is not touching the fucking field. He's just not. I wanted to take him so bad. He's just not seeing the field anymore. Like, he's gotten phased out more and more every single week, despite, in my opinion, being just as good as Jonnu Smith. But again, we'll see how that plays out. But there's no real white, reliable, sure-handed tight end that we can go to today. So deciding on that case, I'm going to switch it up, respectfully. I'm going to take a 12-1 T. Higgins first touchdown marker. If I'm going to take a guy that's going to be big hands in the end zone, hasn't scored a lot this year, but it's definitely due, it's going to be T. Higgins for me. I think this could be the week he finds the first touchdown. Obviously, we had Jamar in, I think it was like week 1 or week 2, get in. Chase Brown got in, if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago. So again, T. Higgins, I think, could be definitely a good spot here, first touchdown. I think the Bengals could score first, especially if they touch the ball first. I think whoever really gets the ball first in this game is scoring first, so we'll leave it up to that. But getting him 12-1 feels really good when considering guys like Kenneth, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown are all above him. I feel like the sure hand, big body T. Higgins can be a good spot at 12-1.
I was going to say T. Higgins behind Kenneth Gainwell is highly disrespectful.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm going back to the tight ends, even though we missed last week.
Oh my God.
Goddard got in the end zone just a little bit later than we thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Darnell Washington, big boy on Pittsburgh. He's basically an O-lineman.
Right.
He's basically an O-lineman.
Not white, but a tight end, so that narrative will stay.
I think
that
I just
narrative
like
will stay.
I like the really big dudes. For some reason, I'm just like they have
Pause.
Hold up.
Yeah,
They
loves
got
the big guys.
they got a big body presence in the red zone. Darnell Washington's gonna moss someone and score the first touchdown tomorrow.
18-1 Darnell Washington. Love that spot. Him and Roman Wilson have the same line. How about it? Darnell Washington, the blocking tight end, is going to find his way into the end zone. 18-1 odds, as well as T. Higgins. So make sure to take, you get both sides, Pittsburgh and you get Bengals. You guys can pick whichever side you want and roll from there. That's what we got for today. If you guys have your thoughts on the games, make sure to drop them down below. Let us know what picks you like, what you picks you don't like, if you agree, if you disagree, any of those sort of things. Make sure to sign up on BetMGM. As always, use code DRAFT when you sign up. And make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. All sort of fun shit down below. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.